Okay, so let's just see what we end up with first. The Smurfs. The Revenge of the Smurfs. What the hell could they be getting revenge on? To get revenge on somebody, that somebody would have to have done something bad to them. But, like, nobody ever does anything bad to the Smurfs, they just magic it all away. Never actually heard of that company. The situation is serious, dear Smurfs. Gargamel is preparing a Smurfical plan to kidnap all the Smurfs. And we scroll by holding the A button. Wow. That's a new one. 4 of us have already disappeared. Nifty Smurf, you're going to free them. Watch out for yourself, for the smurfing will be long and riddled with traps. Good Smurf. Dear Smurfing Lord. Well, we have mini-games, so, yes, mini-games, no, that's something to do with a raspberry and a hedgehog. I don't want anything to do with that right now. We can level select. Really? No, we can't choose anything other than level 1. But we can do the ones inside of level 1 in any order. Kind of unusual. Okay, so holding down L and holding A and B shifts the screen. This is looking like one of those harmless platformers, which will have had very... How do I get raspberry? Or is that only health I can pick up if I've taken damage? How do I get back up? This game and the platforms... Okay, so it is just health. I was thinking we would stomp on the bird, but I guess it is more a platform to make use of. I gotta find out. We have a leaf. I don't know why we have a leaf. Doesn't appear I can do anything with it. I guess it's just a collectible. Question still remains with these platforms. I stood on it when I was above it. How the hell? I may actually have to check and see... Oh, well that suddenly randomly worked. So we could have been taking the lower path the entire time. Who knew? Yes, it is, so far, seeming to be very much just one of those lazy platformers that just gets kind of crapped out onto the GBA because nobody likes putting effort into tie-in games. Still not quite sure what the revenge theme is. Sure, Gargamel is trying a scheme to kidnap Smurfs, but it seems to be a thing he does like all the damn time, so why are they just now getting revenge on him? Total fail. Okay, no more of that. I'm going to actually save state and, you know, not take so much damage and do all the proper nonsense that we should be doing instead of failing. Actually have some patience while we're playing the game, instead of just trying to rush through and miss everything. Okay, it's not working out. Don't like these damn birds. Kind of a terrible system to be putting into the very first stage of... well, I guess it really technically isn't the very first stage of the game, because we chose to come here instead of doing one of the other 4 stages. Come on. Yeah, so 10 leaves is definitely just a bit of health. Don't really care about that overly much. Hey, we finished the bridge. Although we didn't get nearly enough of the stars, apparently. There were still other stars hidden around, not yet found. And these buckets really look like they're interactable, but no dice there. Okay, and... wait a minute, this looks really familiar. Zeta, did you play this at some point? I'd swear that this is, like, a Genesis game. Thank you, Crunk. This is the same exact game that was on the freaking Genesis. They just ported it to the Game Boy Advance. And it was terrible there, and it's terrible here. Wow, I can't believe they actually went and did that. Alright. We can walk past a Smurf, but we cannot touch a sandbag, which is sitting there, completely motionless. Oh god, why are you... what are you doing with that snail? That is not a good use for snails. Seems like most of the items are concerned with restoring your health, which, given that there are so many damn things hurting you, I guess it does make sense. It does seem like it's some kind of 100% thing going on where you can beat the stage without finding all the stars, but you probably get some kind of special thing for finding all of the stars. Don't know what that special thing might be, and don't care enough to find out. I'm just not gonna play this for particularly long. It's not worth it in the least. Can we go down wells? No, apparently we cannot. Also, the duck really doesn't change much in our, height, so I don't know what we would dodge by doing that. Okay, and that would be the end of this little area. The village, I suppose. Let's try... what? Yes, I guess because I did the stages out of order, I was able to use one of those things before it explained to me how they're supposed to be used. Of course, it also begs the question... oh, I can pick it up and carry it. Good to know. If that's what it was explaining about. None of that. Now, is Smurfville actually the name of their village? I don't remember the show that well. Well, that was pointless. Thanks for that, game. What? Oh. Okay, we have full health, so we can collect more than 10 leaves. And suddenly giant rat. I should pay attention. Yeah, that does get kind of creepy. I wonder, does he blink? Okay, yes, he does eventually blink. Good that they at least programmed that in. Okay, we can stomp on worms, but not on hedgehogs. Good to know, although it doesn't really matter overly much, I don't think. Of course, we have to actually be in the right location for that. No, we're not going to go into another tree stump, even if there are leaves or whatever in there. Okay, back up to full health. That's always good. I'm not going down any further tree caves. Don't know why so many trees end in caves, either. Well, this feels familiar. Almost like they used the same exact background for yet another stage. I guess we are going mostly vertically this time instead of horizontally, so they can get away with it. I just barely missed out on that, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to wait for every single leaf. We can just keep jumping up on the branches, bouncing open mushrooms, which, hey, it actually had something other than a leaf in it for once. And apparently we have hit the top of the tree. So presumably right over here is the exit. How about that? And now we are in the Black Forest with the black Smurfs, who I believe were changed to purple for the actual cartoon series, but I guess this isn't following that entirely. Also, they're not saying Gnap. That's kind of disappointing. I forget how exactly it started. I think Smurf was, like, bitten or cursed or something, and it turned him into a black Smurf that essentially was a zombie before zombies were a thing. He was infected and would just jump around, waving his hands and saying, "Gnap, gnap." And then he went and bit another Smurf, who then became infected. And it went on like that until every single Smurf in the village was infected. And I think at the end, even Papa Smurf was infected, but he had just finished some kind of magical concoction that reversed the spell or undid the infection or whatever it was. Crap, I haven't saved in a very long time now. Actually, come to think of it, I think that little insect flying around there is the one that started the whole thing. The one that infected the first Smurf. Well, thankfully, this isn't quite as hard as I Want to Be the Guy with the whole fruit falling on you, so we do not have I Want to Be the Smurf here. Okay, so we made it through the first 5 stages, and we get a boss. Nifty. Was not expecting any bosses. See if it is as simple as just jump and oh my god, Black Smurfs. Was not expecting to be assaulted from behind. Okay, now. None of that. There we go. Much better. Hey, 2 hits in 1. It looks like we have to hit the very back of it, otherwise it considers you hitting the mouth. And of course you can't touch the neck because why would, you know, breaking the neck off do anything? That wouldn't make any sense. What the hell? I'm suddenly able to just bounce very high on my own. Not quite as high, of course, but... And I got infected temporarily. Go ahead and take the key to the cage where Smurf is being held. We found Jokey Smurf. He will help you to find Brainy Smurf. Now it's Jokey Smurf's turn to play. We'll find his gifts very useful for crossing the lake. I guess we were just nameless Smurf before. I guess Smiley Smurf. Okay, so that opens up level 2, but no, we're done here. We are not going to continue on. This game is not worth anything. It's pretty damn bad.